Well, France 24's Gulliver Cragg joins us now from Kiev in Ukraine. And Gulliver, we just heard from President Zelensky and what he says is the situation in the east right now. We've also just heard from the Kremlin calling on President Macron and Chancellor Merkel to urge President Zelensky to ensure his forces in eastern Ukraine observe a ceasefire. What is the situation in that eastern region right now?
Well, Zelensky is saying that his forces are doing exactly that, and they are only responding when they are being attacked, and that only in a very moderate way. He keeps insisting that Ukraine has no plans to go on the attack and that they mustn't respond to what he describes as Russian provocations and to fall into what I think he sees as a trap. Now, actually, this morning in its daily briefing, the Ukrainian army is not reporting any casualties. That's the first time in several days that it's been that way. So I guess it's a little bit calmer, but they do say the situation remains tense. They talk of 7 ceasefire violations. That's the term they use. So I guess 7 separate incidents, mostly on the northwestern part of the front line to the north of the city of Donetsk, which is the largest city currently in the hands of the Russian-controlled forces. Now, Ukrainian media are reporting somewhat worrying news from Donetsk itself. They say that hospitals there are being prepared, apparently, to receive war wounded, sacks of sand being placed in front of hospitals and other administrative and important buildings. And I spoke yesterday to one journalist who's based in Donetsk, and he said the situation is really very, very tense. People are worried. Signs indicating where bomb shelters are being put up again. His impression was that the de facto authorities there want to prepare the population for what they say is a possible Ukrainian attack. Of course, the Ukrainians say they've got no intention, as I said, of staging any such attack. But this journalist in Donetsk, he did seem to me to be rather more worried than I've heard him be over the few years that I've been communicating with him.
Now, Ukraine accuses Russia not only of this massive troop build-up on the border, but also of carrying out crimes in the Sea of Azov. What can you tell us about that?
Well, first of all, Russia has closed the Kerch Strait, which separates the Sea of Azov from the Black Sea, to foreign military ships. So that means Ukrainian ones, basically. Ukraine says that's a violation of international law. And Ukraine also says that on Wednesday night, 5 ships belonging to the Russian security services, the FSB, tried to block the manoeuvres of 3 Ukrainian vessels, and the Ukrainians saw this as a provocation that was an attempt to draw fire from the Ukrainians. They say that they did not fire and did not respond to this provocation. This is all in the context in which Russia is sending 15 vessels from its Caspian fleet. 10 of them at least have already arrived into the Black Sea and the Azov Sea.
Gulliver, thank you very much indeed. Gulliver Cragg there reporting from Kiev, Ukraine.